Today, we're diving into a conversation that's been buzzing around the NBA lately, the meteoric rise of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This isn't your typical sports talk. It's about the undeniable impact SGA is making and why it's time we recognize him among the league's elite. Now, imagine signing a 5-year extension with a team that hasn't seen much success lately. That's exactly what Shai did. He's not here to lose. He believes in his team and the direction they're heading. It's a commitment that's shaping up to be more significant than anyone anticipated. We all know the usual suspects when it comes to NBA greatness: Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo. But hold on, there's a new name crashing the party: Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Let's break down the stats. 31.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, 6.4 assists. Efficiency? Check. Shooting 54.7% from the field and an impressive 89.1% from the free throw line. SGA is not just climbing the rankings, he's setting up camp. Want to know who some NBA players are picking for their starting 5? Forget Paul George. Shai is the new hot pick. His game is smooth, his handles are next level, and according to the players themselves, he's a top 5 player in the league right now. The buzz is real, and even the pros are taking notice. To be considered one of the best in the NBA, you need to bring it on both ends of the court. Enter Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who not only dominates offensively, but also excels defensively. Among the elite 7 players in the 90th percentile of both offensive and defensive plus-minus, SGA stands tall alongside the likes of Embiid, Giannis, LeBron, and more. Here's the kicker: SGA is the only point guard on that list. Yes, the best point guard in the NBA this season, as some former players argue. Let's hear it from those who've been there, the former NBA players. They started the season talking about Shai, and guess what? He's not just meeting expectations, he's surpassing them. SGA is doing everything and more that was predicted for him, making a compelling case for being the standout player of the season. Picture this: 31.6 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. That's SGA's stat sheet, and oh boy, are the Oklahoma City Thunder feeling the impact. Currently sitting second in the Wild Wild West, Shai's MVP odds are at a tantalizing 4,400. Now, why should we consider him a legit MVP candidate? Well, rewind to the start of the season when we threw out the MVP contenders rulebook. For Shai and others like Jason Tatum to enter the MVP race, their teams had to be top 3 in their conferences, averaging north of 25 points per game. SGA? He not only met but exceeded those expectations, doing it consistently. If you take him off the Thunder lineup, do we even have an OKC conversation? Doubtful. At the midway point, Shai isn't just claiming the title of the best point guard in the game right now. He's making a strong case for a top 3 MVP finalist. You can't be in that elite trio and not be crowned the top point guard, right? It's a solo dance for SGA in the MVP point guard conversation. But hold up, we're not just here for the offensive fireworks. When we talk about being elite on both ends of the court, we're not just blowing hot air. SGA's defense has been a stealthy game changer this season. Opponents shooting a mere 40.3% against him? That's not just good, it's elite. His cousin might be the only one ahead, but shout out to family rivalry. Now let's talk steals. SGA isn't just leading, he's dominating. 17 more steals than second place, leaving studs like Suggs and Barnes in the dust. Deflections per game? Check. SGA's got 3.9 of those, disrupting opposing offenses like a seasoned pickpocket. And if you think loose balls are safe, think again. He's the king of recovery, leading the pack in balls rescued per game. Just ask Desmond Bane. But wait, there's more. SGA is also the top dog in contested threes per game, outshining defensive stalwarts like Gobert, Suggs, and Jones. It's a defensive masterpiece, yet SGA often flees under the radar on this end of the floor. NBA players are starting to wise up though. They're calling him the most underrated player in the league, and honestly, it's about time. The man is a double threat, a scoring maestro on one end and a defensive wizard on the other. Now, we all know accolades are cool, but Shai being on the All-NBA first team? That's next level. And yet, he's still the most underrated player in the league. Remember when someone said he's got that Kobe vibe? Well, that's not just talk. It's a testament to Shai's undeniable prowess. Every year, we throw around the term underrated, but when it comes to guarding players, there's a consensus. SGA is the toughest to handle. The guy's got moves, skills, and a knack for making defenders look foolish. It's like watching a hidden gem shine on the court. Now, let's talk stats. Offensively, Shai is on a whole other level this season, averaging a cool 31.2 points on 54.7% shooting. Only two players in NBA history have averaged 30 points, 2.5 steals, and shot over 50% from the field in a season. Michael Jordan and Shai Gilgeous Alexander. Yup, you heard it right. SGA is in a category with the GOAT. And did you know there's another category where SGA and MJ share space? In a recent interview, Shai was asked about playing off the ball, and his response was pure gold. He referenced the Last Dance documentary and how even Michael Jordan had to embrace playing off the ball in the famed triangle offense. If MJ had to do it, well, Shai's definitely on board. But let's shift gears and talk about Shai's ISO game. Currently sitting at second in the NBA for the percentage of unassisted baskets, right behind Luka Doncic, Shai's at 75.1%. This guy is dropping buckets with minimal help, showcasing an elite level of individual play. And when you're in the same conversation as Luka, both averaging 30 points with elite shooting percentages, you're in the upper echelon of NBA stardom. Let's not forget about those highlight reel games where SGA dropped 34 on the Timberwolves, 40 on the Nuggets, and 36 on the Celtics, the top 3 defensive teams in the league. Shai trains like the best defenders in the world are coming for him every night. So when game time hits, it's just another day at the office. And now, the buzz is real. Shai Gilgeous Alexander in the MVP race. If you're on Twitter, you've seen those global ratings by Hoops Hype, showcasing the cream of the NBA crop. SGA's name is up there with the best, and rightfully so. The man is not just a problem, he's a solution, a game changer, and the league is starting to take notice. Let's rewind to a game against the Denver Nuggets where Shai dropped a staggering 36 points, outshining the best player in the league, Nikola Jokic, by a whopping 20. Jokic himself acknowledged it. SJ is a problem for the league. Not just this year, but over the past 2 seasons, he's been stacking up impressive numbers, proving he's a game changer and a force to be reckoned with. Fast forward to the matchup against the Boston Celtics, hailed as a potential finals preview. Shai went off again, dropping 36 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds with shooting splits of 64, 60, 63. But let's hit pause here because there's a narrative in the air, a comparison between Shai and Jason Tatum. Comparing the two, Shai averages 4 more points, 2 more assists, and 1.5 more steals. Tatum might have a slight edge in rebounds, but when it comes to shooting percentages, Shai is shooting 73% higher from the field. Tatum might have a slightly higher three-point percentage, but Shai counters with an 8% higher free throw percentage. Effective field goal percentage, Shai's got a 2% advantage. And let's throw in some advanced stats. Shai's box plus minus is 6 higher than Tatum's. It's not a hate thing. It's just acknowledging that Shai is a significant step ahead this season. Post-game, even the Celtics' starting point guard, Drew Holiday, widely regarded as one of the best defensive point guards, admitted that guarding SGA is no walk in the park. Shifty players like Shai make defenders uncomfortable, and that discomfort is translating into wins for the Thunder. Speaking of wins, the Thunder embarked on a 5-game winning streak, marking their dominance in the tough Western Conference. They sit as the second-best team, battling it out with formidable foes like the Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves. And let's not forget, they're armed with an arsenal of draft picks, ready to pounce if the right star becomes available. SGA's unapologetically dominant play for the Thunder is sending shivers through opponents. His hunger for an NBA championship sets him apart. Subscribe for more on his relentless journey to greatness, as we dissect SGA's recent performances against the Hawks and the Nets. 33 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, and 34 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, respectively. It's clear that he's not just a scorer, he impacts the game in every facet. In fact, his player impact estimate, PIE, places him among the elite in the league, rubbing shoulders with the likes of Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, and recent MVPs like Luka Doncic and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Enjoyed this content? Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more.